Manipur, one of the beautiful and resource-rich states in the northeast region of India, which stretches across the eastern foothills of the Himalayas. Despite being well endowed with natural resources, Manipur, like the rest of the region, continues to lag in development. Poverty levels are high. With few industries or businesses, most people depend on low-value agriculture. Power shortage has been one of the major constraints to economic development. Until recently, one-third of Manipur's 2.8 million people did not have access to electricity. Those that did often received it for an average of 6 to 8 hours a day. Aging and inefficient infrastructure stretched the state's power system. Power consumption in Manipur was a quarter of the national average.
2 years back, our peak demand was almost 130 megawatt. The actual availability was only 80-70 megawatt. And in the lean season, that is in the winter season, it was even 60 megawatt. So compulsorily, the state had to do load shedding.
पहले तो ठीक नहीं था महीना में 15 दिन आता है 15 दिन नहीं आता है
nung hanadi ko nung ma lakba nung ma off tauba dum an hing du da dum tawet.
In 2014, the state started scripting a turnaround and has now significantly improved power supply to its people. So, how did Manipur achieve this? The first step was to meet the immediate demand by buying short-term power from the national grid and offsetting by banking their own surplus nighttime power for use at times of high demand. The results were seen immediately in the capital city Imphal, where people started getting electricity for up to 18 hours a day. Homes were lit in the evenings, shops stayed open after dark, and children could study longer. And in village after village, evening services in churches are now well attended. Once power supply had improved, prepaid meters were installed in Imphal. This allowed people to manage their consumption of electricity and also enabled the utility to bill them correctly for it. More than half of Imphal's consumers are now using prepaid meters.
Since about 1.5 years ago, the government have introduced this prepaid meter, and with that, there is a quantum jump in the improvement of power supply in Manipur. Now we are getting almost 24-hour a day electricity at home, at school. Our generator rarely does it operate now.
ये तो 24 आवर मिलता है प्रीपेड आने के बाद हर साइड से अच्छा हुआ बिजनेस में भी और घर में भी
With prepaid metering into the system, we are now able to improve our generation, revenue generation, with which we are also able to purchase more and more power from the market.
Been in Tamil Nadu for a long time, I want to come back and start my factory. I was trying again and again for last 6-7 years. One of the reasons which always holds me back to Tamil Nadu is electricity. When I started this factory here in Tagail Industrial Estate, I was so surprised that I am getting uninterrupted power supply, and it's almost like I am running out there in Tamil Nadu.
Transforming a government department into an agile, customer-oriented, modern utility required changing attitudes, practices, and behaviors. Staff were trained in new skills, and innovative practices like the daily huddle for linesmen were introduced. And these helped streamline day-to-day functioning. One of the biggest challenges for all power utilities in India is the leakages and theft of electricity. Manipur's officials chose to tackle this by sensitizing the local people and instilling a sense of pride and responsibility in the improved infrastructure. Another important element was placing greater emphasis on maintaining their assets, both old and new. As a result of all these efforts, electricity now reaches 90% of Manipur's villages, even in the remote areas. The coming of electricity has especially eased the life of women in the interior mountain villages. Modern household conveniences reduce daily drudgery, freeing up time for other activities.
Hanadiko asi maido koi du pat semba ya tabnena ising su bel tau tabida dum tae ado gidigi anayak su dum toy ado bujik di ilai laina dum electric di thongraga do su pitakre.
I would say that as of today, there is almost round-the-clock power supply. So once the power supply is improved, then the all-round development activities will definitely be much better than before.
There is a general feeling that power sector is improving. It is very important that we constantly improve our revenue collection. We keep replacing our age-old infrastructure. And over a period of 4-5 years, the complete work culture would change. Once there's good work culture, once there's complete institutional strengthening, once there's good fund available, then probably organizations should be able to meet the expectations of the people.